everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning the basics about JavaScript. So the first thing you'll need to know are the variables. There are three different types. There's var, const, and let. Var const is a constant, meaning that you can't update it. And finally, let means that const, but you can update it later. So, memorize this. Okay, let's now do one for each. Var. Now you want to assign a name to your variable. So I'll do city network. The thing about JavaScript is that you use a format called camel script. It goes like, say you wanted to say camel case. You wouldn't do that. So X. You wouldn't do this. Nope. You wouldn't do this. And you wouldn't do this. Instead, you'd do this. You get it? So now we assign a name. This is for a string. You would assign a string. So say Melbourne or New York City. There's also an integer, which is a whole number. You can also do multiplication, so 10 times 10. I'll get rid of that. And there's also unintegers, which are decimals. So, now that we know, let's assign a variable. Let us call it Adelaide. Let's learn how to display it. What you would do is that you would type console.log. Then you would add 2 brackets. And then the cool thing you can do this. I love, then do a $sign, 2 brackets, fill it in with your variable, city network. And for our last lines, we would I said network. Yeah. And you would add a full stop for punctuation. Isn't that cool? Now let's do our first big project. Do const. You would give it a variable. So let's say num equals random number. But you know what we could do for that? Math.random times 100. So we'll choose a random number out of 100. So now we want to find out what that number is, right? Yeah, but it might choose. So I want to see what it chose for num. So we'll do our cool thing again. Well, you actually don't have to do the cool thing if you're just gonna display a variable. So I'll say num. Look, it chose 10.53396247118963. Isn't that cool? Now let's add our semicolons to end. Oh, it chose something new. But now we want it to be an integer. Okay. So now we do this. We just want, you actually don't need the number. We do math. Math. Wait. Whoopsie. Wait, let me just look there. You always need your information. Okay. Ah, yes. Isn't like safe integer? Where is it? Tell me if I missed anything in the comments, because I'm not finding the max integer. Here. Just give me a new. I just want the is integer. This is taking a long time. I'll just cut to when I find it, alright? Is integer. Is Because okay, I'm back and I found the solution. So we've got to do math.floor. The function of math.floor makes it so that it rounds the number down. But we could also just do this function. You see? It both works, but I'm suggesting round because it's the best for this scenario, even though I learnt the other way. So, look, you see how I used const, which is a constant, so you can never change it. I'm going to change const. Look at that. You cannot assign a new variable to a const. Nice. Now let's do a cool game. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's do some cool mathematics. So we want the starting number, which will be our num. We want it to be that huge number. Now we want num. We want const num times 10. Now let's do this. Num 2. And so let's keep on doing this. You see where this is going? It's a bit like the grand numbers theorem, but I just came up with my own. Now, instead, let's change this to 10. Have you ever wanted to know what 10 truncated to 2 is? Well, we could calculate that. Let me just cut to when I finish everything. Actually, I'll fast forward. What I'm doing right here is I'm doing some comments. To do a comment, you do a double slash like this. I'll just do an example down here. Let's do, say, this refers to and so on. Or you could do a sequence. Like that. There's two different types. The double slash, which is for one line, and the slash and then the multiplication symbol, which you can use for different lines. Like I said, it doesn't print into the console. So let's say, or to be more exact, console.log hello. Look, it doesn't print. Also here. Even if you add that, it doesn't print. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding comments to make sure I don't lose my track of time. Genius. Oopsie, whoops. I'm actually going to call it origin. Now, oof, that was tired work. But we've done it now. We actually haven't done it. Because now we need to add all of the semicolons to make sure that no errors return in the console. There. Now we can get off to displaying 10 to the power of 10. Let's test it out. Num 10. Wow, would you look at that? That is 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion, 10 billion, 100 billion. Now look that up. Which is 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 billion, 100. Wait, what? 1, 2, 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion, 10 billion. So it should be. Let me just do something real quick to see how many billions. Now, let's do. You all should know. You all should know that the billion, millions 10 to the power of 6, and billion is 10 to the power of 9. So we'll do this by doing 10 equals num 10 divided by 10 to the power of 9. Then wait, hold up, wait a minute. Oh, that's why. Wait, or was it just minus? Wait, what happened? What's this doing? Wait. Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'm back. I found out the solution. Instead of doing that operator, you want to do that. It equals 100 billion. Oops, I accidentally did that. Yeah. We did it. Whoa. And that is how you calculate. Now let's do a random number. Wow. Super cool. Now what do we do about digits? That's super cool. Okay, you've learned a lot with me actually right now. And you'll learn more in the next episode. So, I'll see you. Bye!